Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and we're going to take a look this time at one of the rarer Transformers. We're taking a look at the 1990 Decepticon Cannon Transport. This came out in 1990 during the final year of the Generation 1 toy line in America, so it would only be on the shelves for the 1 year, and would be discontinued in 1991. The Cannon Transport was one of the many toys that was done to popularize the new combiner feature for the Micromasters. As a Micromaster combiner connected to the front and rear of the transport, and they could tow it along into battle. Then this piece could then further transform into its own freestanding base with ramps that would allow you to connect it to other Micromaster playsets, or it could turn into a pair of mobile battle emplacements. So, quite an industrious little toy here. This here, however, is the transport mode, and it rolls pretty excellently on these little Wii wheels that it has, even on this tablecloth here, see? It goes pretty good. It's not perfect by any stretch, but it's also not bad. Now, of course, we're going to turn it into the battle station. So to start off with, we remove the Micromasters. We'll introduce them in a little bit. And then we'll just connect them together. As you can see, these two form a dump truck when they're together like this. By the way, this is Cement Head, and back here in the back is Terror Tread. Where they got those names from out of a dump truck, I have no idea. Then, of course, for this, we got to remove the side ramps. And for the moment, we also have to remove the guns. Alright, to turn this into a battle station, we come up here to the front of the vehicle, and split the sides of the upper armor, like so. And we come back here to the back end, we raise it up, reconnect it, like so. Then you fold out the guns, like that. And then you attach the gray guns on the top of the armor, like that. And then, of course, the ramps can be plugged in at the front and the back. And then there you have it. Plus, of course, the dump truck can ride along in there. Or even better, we can just ream up the back. In the vain hope that we can get him to go straight and straight down the ramp like that. That's always the hope there, folks. Anyway, we'll set this aside for a moment. And we'll bring these guys out so that you can see how they'll look as a robot. So first we'll do Cement Head here. To transform Cement Head, first thing we do is we rotate the upper piece of the truck back like that. And then we can fold out the front side of the truck to be his legs. And then we just turn him around, and then we can bring out his arms, like so. Of course, for articulation, he can raise his arms up all the way, like so, or lay him flat against his back. He's got a joint at the hips, so he can bend his legs up at the hips, roughly 90 degrees, and he can bend his legs at the knees. And of course, you can leave this up, or if you would prefer, you can rotate it down so he is less of a target. The instructions leave it upright, so we'll just leave it up. As you can see, he stands pretty well like that. Now, we'll get Terror Tread here. As you can see, for being the rear half of a dump truck, he's kind of useless by himself. Anyway, you grab the end that has the posts, and we'll fold that down, and that becomes his legs, and then you stand him upright, and the remaining wheels pop free to become his arms. For his articulation, he can raise his arms up about so far, and of course, bring them back flat against the dumping bin. He can also bend his legs at the hip about 90 degrees, and he can also bend his legs at the knees. And there are the Micromasters for this. But we still got one more thing to do. And that's turn this into the final thing. Now for starters, remove the ramps. Remove the guns. We're going to reset this thing back down into the main unit like that. And then we just separate it. For the front half, all we got to do now is we add the guns. Like so. And then we can seat a Micromaster in there, so we'll get Cement Head and put him in a semi-seating position here. Now, we put him in a kneeling position, and he sits in there about the right height to man the guns. For the back half, we fold out the cannon. And of course, you have a 360-degree cannon. It also has a post right there in the center, so let's put Terror Tread in a kneeling position as well. So maybe we can connect it up. Nope, he won't go that way. But thankfully, since he has that groove in the center, he can kind of stand in there. Kind of loosely. It looks kind of silly like that, but that's how it's supposed to be. And those are the battle emplacements. And as you saw, like the original combined cannon transport, it does roll about pretty good. They both roll about pretty good. Although the back end one, you don't want to roll it too wildly or the little guy's going to fall out. But all in all, it does come off as a valued addition to the Decepticon army. Now let's take a look at the accessories that would come with the cannon transport. I mean, obviously you have the two-piece cannon transport itself and the green dump truck. But we also have two cannons. Unfortunately, it's hollow on the backside. And you, of course, also have two purple ramps. Of course, on the backside of the ramps, there should be a post, since that's how you can mount it onto the transport. And that's basically all the accessories for this toy. Now let's take a look at the cannon transport's instructions. You see the front picture is of the transport, and the second picture is the battle station. And here we have all the pieces, how to fit them all together to form the cannon transport. And then we start by how to make the battle station. Very simple process. Then we'll flip to the back to make the battle emplacements. And then, of course, transform the dump truck into the two robots. Then fit them inside. And then how to apply all the stickers. Then we get to the end where it tells you how to save your robot points and read the tech spec. And speaking of which, we have the tech spec right here. The top of it is done in purple to show he's a Decepticon. The picture here is likely what they would have shown on the front of the box, but I'm not entirely certain. It lists the unit's name as the Cannon Transport. Its function is demolitions. And the group's motto is, "We aim for nothing less than total victory." The essence of Decepticon evil moves twin-turret high-impact cannon into prime position to unleash earth-crunching firepower. Able to change into all-terrain micro-vehicle, ultra-force battle platform, or 2 battle-ready micro-robots. Micromaster Combiner Mode allows for armored transport to fuse with other combiners for fast attack capabilities. Equipped with state-of-the-art cybernetic scanner that detects Autobot troop movements up to 20 miles away. Commanded by Cementhead and Terror Tread. 2 swaggering braggarts who enjoy trashing enemy installations. Sounds like a couple of psychos. And anyway, we move over here to their stats. It gives their strength as 7, their intelligence is 10, their speed and endurance are 9, their rank is 7, their courage is 8, their firepower is 9, and their skill is 6. So they are just barely above average on what they do as a unit. But otherwise commands some very impressive stats. Now we get to my thoughts. What do I think of the Cannon Transport? At first, the Cannon Transport and the other two like it didn't impress me a whole lot. I mean, they are pretty rare Transformers, usually with loose samples selling for around $100 at the time I bought these guys. Usually you could expect to spend $100 or more buying them, since for some reason they are kind of on the rare side. They don't turn up very often. I mean, the battle emplacement modes, that's okay. You know, splitting it up into 2 separate vehicles, it's okay. It could be better. But, of course, all of them have that as a problem. The separate modes, they're okay. They really don't excite because they just look silly. The battle station mode, where it can be connected in between a couple of the other playsets, that's a nice gimmick. It allows you to have a little highway between the 2 toys, and it also gives you a battle station with which to attack Autobots with. So that's kind of nice. The Cannon Transport itself overall, together, it looks like a nice formidable weapon. Could it look better? Absolutely. But is it fine as it is? Yes. It is a pretty good toy, especially when one also takes into consideration the recent showing of things for the upcoming Earthrise War for Cybertron series. One of the things they're putting out is one of the original Micromaster battle stations. And a lot of it can be broken down to make things reminiscent of the original 1989 toy, but also the pieces can also be added on to any extra bases that are being released. Like supposedly the stuff that's for Ironworks, the only Micromaster battle station that has been confirmed to be coming from Earthrise, has parts that can be combined with Omega Supreme. So that helps add some more playability to the new Omega Supreme toy, as he is built to be a large Micromaster base. Supposedly the Titan for Earthrise will be Scorponok, So I would suspect that any Decepticon ones that will be released this year for Earthrise will also be compatible with Scorponok. So all in all, it makes what these guys did back in the 80s and early 90s seem almost pale in comparison, but also something of an ingenious idea that apparently they're going to build upon. So hopefully, with Earthrise and maybe its next, maybe whatever its third chapter will be, will include something like this in it. It would be nice to see how this toy would translate and be updated for a new generation. So all in all, this Cannon Transport, I'm going to put it up as just barely making it into the top tier. So when you see how it is somewhat helping to influence what's coming out right now, it's starting to make more sense as to why this is a rather difficult toy to find back then, and what will probably continue to make it difficult to find for the near future. It's a nice add-on to a playset, but it also serves well on its own. And that concludes my review of the Decepticon Cannon Transport. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up here on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button down below to join our ranks. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you'll be alerted when I post new content. And also, please leave your thoughts about the Cannon Transport in the comments down below. This is Sparkster1701 reminding you that next Thursday here in the States is Thanksgiving. So I hope everybody has a good holiday. Spend it with your loved ones. Don't eat too much turkey and fall asleep watching the football games. And I'll catch you all again on Black Friday.